I've made quite a few upgrades to my backpacking gear. Trying to save weight and everything, and I have not yet put it all together. I'm really hoping that once I get it all put together, I'll be right in the ballpark of about 25 pounds wet, completely loaded. So I figured I would just bring you guys along and kind of pack all my gear together and get it all put into my pack and then weigh it. And I can go over the gear that I use as we go and just take a look at it. So we'll start with my backpack. I got a Z-Packs Arc Haul 70. This one's quite a bit lighter than my other packs. I did add a couple of belt loops here. And so yeah, I'm pretty excited to try this out. So this pack is made from Dyneema, which is waterproof and tough and super light. Being 70 liters, it's gonna be more than enough. So what's next? What do we start to pack next? Well, another thing that I just tried this out a little bit, but I got a UGQ quilt. Now, how is a quilt different than a sleeping bag? Well, a quilt doesn't have a back to it. So when you lay it out, it stretches over and you're actually on the sleeping pad. And then you have these straps that you put underneath the sleeping pad to hold it down and hold it together. This is a 950 fill quality goose down, and it's rated for 20 degrees. When I went up to Isle Royale, there were a couple of nights I was not prepared, and it got really cold. I think that this quilt is really gonna help me. So let's get this thing. I don't store this packed and rolled tight. You're not supposed to store down packed tight because it'll lose its loft, I mean. So let's put it in the bag that it came in here. That should be a fun little trick. Had it in here though, it fits, no problem. We're going to put this in to the pack first, since it's generally one of the last things I'll need out. All right. There's that. Pushed all the way down to the bottom of the pack. Okay, what's next? So I got a Big Agnes Divide. I've been using a Big Agnes Q-Core, about a 4-point for the insulation, and it was a 20-inch wide, and I got that. That one's right here. It's a 20-inch wide by 72 long, and I got the 20-inch wide to save weight, but you know, when I'm laying there, my arms will fall off the side. And I really like the Big Agnes with the vertical tubes, but I went with a 25-inch wide for this time. And I slept on this once, and it was night and day. Just that 5 inches, it honestly makes a huge difference. The vertical tubes on the outside are slightly larger, so it keeps you from falling off. And it's great. It does weigh more, so I'm sacrificing a little bit of weight, but I think a good night's sleep is worth it. So we're going to put that in next. All right. This is my tent. I have it wrapped in a Hilltop Packs Dyneema bag because the bag that it came with is smaller, and I just have an easier time fitting it inside of here. This is a Durston X-Mid Pro 1. As can be seen right there, X-Mid Pro 1. Full Dyneema. It's very light. For stakes, I have Z-Packs carbon fiber stakes, which are also extremely light. And again, I got just another Hilltop Packs Dyneema bag for the stakes. That all goes in there. And pop the tent in. Okay, so what's next? I think we could put our food in. Well, let's put our clothes in first. So I always I have an REI puffer jacket. It's fairly warm. I think there's probably warmer puffies out there. And at some point I might upgrade. But this has gotten me through pretty good. I think I'm going to use the Dyneema sack that my X-Mid Pro came in. I have compression sacks, but they're heavier. Be nice just to pack that in there. Then for clothes, I like Darn Tough wool socks. They're great. So I have one set of spare socks. I'm not going to count the weight of the stuff that I'm going to already be wearing. So the other pair of Darn Tough socks, we're not going to pack those, and we're not going to count them in the weight. I have a couple of pairs of Smartwool underwear. So we'll pack one of those. I just bring one pair of socks and one pair of underwear as spare. And then I can just rotate throughout the days. For pants, I have Columbia. These unzip into shorts when I want to, which is nice if I want to go for a swim or something. Those will be on me, so I'm not going to pack them, but I just wanted to go over them. I really like these. I want to get another pair too. For tops, I have a Smartwool short sleeve shirt. We'll put that in the clothes bag here. Pop that in the pack. And then what I'll probably be wearing most of the time is this Kuiu sun hoodie. It's highly perforated and meant to keep you cool in the sun, but also acts as a nice sunscreen, keep you safe. So this is probably what I'll be wearing most of the time. So again, not going into the pack. Okay, then we'll get our food put together. So I have a Hilltop Packs Dyneema food bag. It's got, it's a roll top closure, and then it has a nice spot to hang it when you're in bear territory. So for dinner, so this is, I'm packing for a 3-day trip to Isle Royale. That's what all this stuff, I'm not going till August, but that's just kind of what I have had in mind when I've been putting all this stuff together. So I have one night of beef stroganoff, one night chicken Alfredo, and it's right up here. And one night beef pasta marinara. So these definitely have a thick end and a thin end, so it's always good to kind of lay them in, pack them in as efficiently as possible. Then for breakfast, I have a Peak Refuel breakfast skillet. For one morning, I have Peak biscuits and sausage gravy. For another morning, then I have Mountain House biscuits and gravy. I'm just going to kind of compare the two while I'm out there. Probably have one the first day and one the third day. Lunches. I'm actually short one of these bars. I thought I had 3 of them. But I like these Pro Meal bars for a lunch. I can just sit anywhere and just eat this, no problem. And then I usually pair those up with a goo. So here I have a pumpkin spice, a vanilla orange, and a chocolate outrage. These have vitamins and energy. Some of them have caffeine in them, amino acids, that kind of thing, electrolytes, and they taste super good. Then I have one package of brownie bites, freeze-dried brownie bites. These are great after you eat dinner and you're bouncing around camp and everything. It's nice to have a little snack. Just one pack is enough for 3 nights. You just want to have a few, just a little something before you go to bed. Those are great for it. And that'll do it for all of the food. That goes in. I can see already I'm going to have to pack this probably a little bit differently. But this is a different pack, so, you know, it's kind of why I start now with this instead of right when I'm getting ready to go. So now there's some of the smaller items. This pack doesn't have a brain in it, the top part. So I just got this Dyneema bag to put all of the little odds and ends that I would normally put in the brain of one of my other packs. So what do we got? This is all the knife that I've ever really needed. This is a Spyderco Dragonfly. This particular one, I bought a second one. This came in VG10 blade, but I bought a second one and swapped. It's an S30 blade now. I swapped the blade and the lock bar with a different bright pink one. Then I gave my wife the pink one with the VG10 blade, and she's super happy with it. So this one's been on quite a few adventures with me already, and gonna go on some more this year. So that's the knife. Got a titanium spoon to reach down in those packs and eat. I don't like the sporks. I've only ever used the spoon. I've been real happy with it. I don't use paracord. I use this microcord. This microcord's good for 110 pounds or so. I can hang my pack. I can do whatever I want with the micro cord. It takes up a lot less space and is a lot lighter. So these are each about 20 feet. I tie a bowline on them and hank them up so that they're easy to unwrap. And then that way I can have a clothesline. I can get my pack up off the ground if I need to, whatever I want. 2 pieces of that. I usually take one of these little O-lights. This will, I'm just going to put it in here right now for sake of weight, but usually I'll clip this right to the shoulder strap so that I have it easily available to me, especially once it starts to get a little dark or something. Ben's mosquito net. This is to put over the top of your head, and super valuable. People commented that they wish they'd had this when we've been walking before, and wouldn't go without it. Weighs nothing, so why not bring it? Nitecore headlamp, very lightweight. Headlamp is great if you have to do stuff at night. Using that little O-light works for a lot of stuff, but if you're setting up tent or doing some task, you want a headlamp. This is a Nitecore battery. This is a 10,000 milliamp hour carbon fiber case. They say this is the smallest, lightest weight 10,000 milliamp hour battery pack that you can get. So I'm probably not bringing the GPS when I go. I'm going to rely on my phone, so I want to make sure I can keep my phone up with this. I just got a couple of cords in there. Super light bag, keep it all together. In that goes. A little bit of tenacious tape for repairs on the bag, on my sleeping pad, whatever. Just a ferro rod. Just never know. I want to be able to make fire. It's just me, so I'm going to go with one of these 100-gram MSR fuel canisters. I don't think I need any more than this, especially not for 3 nights. This is there'll be a lot left on this. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. However, I'm going to be flying to the island, so I won't be able to take this particular canister. I'm going to have to buy one of these when I get to the island. And then whatever I don't use, I just have to leave there. You can't take this on the airplane. That's one, if you're going to fly the float plane into Isle Royale, that's one disadvantage over taking the ferry. You're going to have to buy your fuel there and then leave whatever's left. But I'm going to throw this in just to get an accurate weight. That is full. My Tokes 750 milliliter titanium cup. And my MSR pocket rocket stove with a little teeny Bic. That just rides nice right down in there. This is how I'm going to warm up my water to make my meals. So this thing is very valuable. And honestly, in the mornings, I really like to get some hot chocolate. That's one thing I don't have here, so it won't be in the weight, but it's going to be a pretty menial amount of weight. Just a few packets of hot chocolate in the morning. That's good stuff. So put that in this bag. I have this 100% wool cotton buff. Basically, a buff is just a tube. It's just a tube of wool. And you can do all sorts of stuff with this thing. You can wear it as a hat, like at night, if it's really super cold. When you don't have much hair like me, You can put this on your head, or you can fold it over to take your cup off of the stove if it's really hot, or it has 1,000 different uses, and it's become an essential part of my kit. I got them Right in the Rain. I've already have some of my backpacking trips written down, but I have a lot of space left on this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that right in the hip pocket. And I'll go ahead and throw a pen in there. I like to take notes and just write down stuff. You know, if you don't write things down, like when you get to camp at the end of the day, sit down and write what happened. Write it out so that you can really remember it. If you don't do that, you will forget things and you'll regret it later. Another thing I'm probably just going to throw in that brain bag for right now, but this might wind up in the hip pocket as well. My Garmin InReach. There's no cell service or anything on Isle Royale. And a lot of the places that I've hiked, there's no cell service. So with this, I can talk to the satellites, the Iridium satellite network, and this will allow me to send texts. A lot of the cell phones are coming out with that ability, so I don't know really how much longer that something like this will even be relevant, but I can get weather forecasts and everything, and I can send check-ins to people just to let them know I'm okay. So I got my trowel here, just in case I have to stop by the side of the trail and use the restroom. It's super light. So the problem I had with this trowel, you know, it's just real thin, and trying to dig with it was tough. It would get into your hand, dig in your hand and stuff. So I wound up forming this Kydex over it, and that really helps. I can push down on that now because this isn't sharp. That really, really helps with this. I'm just going to clip that right here on the side. Here's something you don't want to forget. Put that in there. So I have just a pretty small first aid kit. Band-Aids, you know, some Tylenol, Advil. I have there's a few things in here that are noteworthy. You can get moleskin and stuff, but if you just get some of this tape, that way if you start getting hot spots on your feet or whatever, you can just tape them. Right away, when you first notice them, tape them. Don't let them become blisters. Definitely don't let them become blisters. There's a few Band-Aids and things in there. But another thing, Body Glide. This basically looks just like a stick of deodorant, white deodorant. But it's a lubricant. If you start getting chafing, say you're walking and it rains and something's rubbing and chafing you or whatever, this is your way to make it through the trip. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have some of this with you. It's just a little teeny thing. It doesn't weigh much, but this can save your trip. Get a little thing of Body Glide. Just get the small one. It'll be plenty. But definitely have that with you. It's not messy or anything. I know some guys use Vaseline and monkey butt powder and things like that, and that all probably works too. This is just easier to carry, not messy or anything. That's about all I'm going to fit in this little bag. Pop that on top here. This is just a spare meal here. So this is kind of like toiletries. I have some Picardin insect repellent, some hand sanitizer, a teeny tiny thing of, Crest, just to brush teeth, that's nice, and some SPF 70 sunscreen. Got a little teeny tiny toothbrush in there, and that's it. That's all I need. I guess this could have gone in a lot sooner. It's just an inflatable pillow. Jam that way down into the side there. This is super important. My water filter. I just use a Sawyer Squeeze, but I have the knock bags for it. Why is that important? So, when you first buy the Sawyer Squeeze has teamed up with Knock, so you can get the Knock bags when you buy a Sawyer Squeeze now. But this was the bag that mine came with. So the only opening is this one little hole right here. This bag is collapsed. It's very, very difficult to get water to go into that bag. With the Knock bag, the whole end opens up. So you take, and the whole end opens wide. So you can, with that shut, the end shut, you open this up and you go into the lake or the river, whatever your source is, and scoop up a whole bag full of water. Then all you do is you fold this over and slide this on. And now you can hang this. You put your water filter on and you can squeeze the water through your filter so that you can get your water. These Knock bags are 100% the way to go if you're getting a Sawyer Squeeze. And like I said, I did see that Sawyer anyway, has teamed up with Knock to offer their filter with the Knock bags. And that's a fantastic idea. What's nice about the Squeeze is too, it's pretty much a forever filter because you get a syringe you can back flush this stuff with. So it's not like a filter where you use it for a while and throw it away. You actually clean it. And your flow might go down and stuff, but you can clean these out and use them over and over and over. And they're super light. You just got to keep them from freezing. I was using big Nalgene bottles for my for all my water, but these things are super heavy, just the bottles themselves. I can get, these are just from Kirkland's from Costco, carries the same amount of water. It's kind of like smart water bottles, and they are way easier to fit into the sides of the pack than those fat Nalgenes. They go right in there. No problem. I use a chair when I'm backpacking because, man, after you've done some miles, it's nice to be able to sit down. And I use a Flexlite Air from REI. I really like it. The only thing I've done is I took some Kydex and I made these supports. They go like this. And so they've got dimples for the actual pegs of the legs to sit on. So if you're on a soft forest floor or it's sandy or something like that, the legs don't sink in and you don't tip over. So these weigh practically nothing, and I've tried them out. I made a video on them. They just ride right in there with the chair. On the outside of the bag, got this nice big mesh pouch. The first couple of trips I went on, all I had was my regular hiking shoes. And I just switched to these Merrell. I did a video on these too. These are fantastic. Super light. I love them. Love them. But if you're hiking all day, you know those are going to be wet. You're going to want to hang them on your microcord to let them dry. So I did. I went out and got some of these Zero Shoe sandals. They have a nice sturdy sole with good tread. So maybe if I have to do a water crossing or something, I could take off my hiking shoes and put these on and not have to worry about slipping too much because they have good sturdy tread on the bottom of them. I'm not a sandal wearer, but when I get to camp, you want to air out the dogs a little bit. These are going to be fantastic. They're very, very adjustable. So I can adjust the back part with Velcro, and I can adjust the strap that zigzags across with a buckle here so I can get them to fit really good. These are great. What I was doing too is I had little S-beaners, and I was clipping them to the outside of my pack. But then the things as I walked would swing and bang, and I got tired of that. So I bought, again, I went to Hilltop Packs. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I do like the stuff. And I bought this Roll Top Dyneema bag, waterproof bag. So now, when I'm done with them, they could be wet, they could be sandy, dirty, whatever. I could put them in this bag and not have to worry about them. Stuff them right down in there. Now they're not flopping all over the place and annoying the heck out of me. So I'm not going to count this in the weight, but it's just something I will wear. And that's just a wide brimmed hat. Now I have that sun hoodie, and that's probably going to be good enough. But I definitely recommend that you protect yourself from the sun. It's just more and more and more we're seeing the effects. So get something to protect yourself from the sun. You got sunscreen, sun hoodies. There's a lot of different things. And I do go with this hat. So that's it. That's pretty much all of the gear. And again, this is definitely not how I'm going to have it packed in the end. I want to figure this out a little bit better. I had smaller packs that I had packed better than this, but this is the very first time I've ever put anything in this pack. So, boy, that isn't very heavy. Let's see what we got. I've got a digital scale here. Going pounds. Let's call it 22.5 pounds. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. 22.5 pounds. My goal was to get my entire setup for that 3-day trip to 25 pounds. And I'm at 22.5. Now, that being said, the GoPro, and there's going to be a few accessories that go with the GoPro. That's probably going to bring me up to 25 pounds. But the whole point of everything here was that I wanted everything to be able to at least earn its weight. You know, I didn't want to have just extraneous weight just shoved into this thing just in case. You know, don't pack your fears. So to have 22.5 pounds right now I know that I can add the GoPro and maybe one extra battery and be able to really document and record this for myself and to post and still be at my goal weight. Oh, that's great. I'm really excited. Now being February 1st, I still have quite a while to wait, but that gives me time to fine tune my packing setup here. I can see that some of this is drawn up very tight, so I can back some of this off, like right here, and get a lot more space in here, and this is gonna work out fantastic. 22.5 pounds. Wow. Hey, thanks for joining me. Please let me know if you have any good ideas for me or any changes. I'm all ears, for sure. Or if you have any questions about the stuff that I have, why I use it, what my experience has been with it, let me know, because I'll definitely like to talk to you about it. And I just appreciate you guys coming along and watching me pack my new pack up for the very first time and weigh it. And I'm super excited. I can't wait to hit the trail. I can't wait. This is going to be a great year. All right, guys. Till the next time. See ya.